Hey everybody, it's Rob here from VRA Realty Alliance. I'm a realtor based out of Westchester, PA. That's one thing important. I am not an attorney, or I'm not a foreclosure attorney, so I'm going to be going through this from a non-attorney perspective, which I hope actually helps you relative to some of the other content out there. Not legal advice, just informational, so definitely talk to an attorney if you're in this process. But I just want to help people understand what is the foreclosure process in Pennsylvania. What things can you do? What's the sheriff's sale process? How does that fit into things? Where do you buy foreclosures? So I'm going to go through a lot of different things, I would say, from a more practical perspective in terms of not getting into the hyper details of the legality of things, but more just understanding the foreclosure process. Okay, everyone, so you can see here I've broken down the very basics of the process. So you may be wondering, how long does this process take? And the answer is over a year typically. So it does take a while. We have what's called a judicial foreclosure process in Pennsylvania. You can have a judicial and non-judicial depending on the state. But in Pennsylvania, it's judicial, meaning that there's going to go to a court at some point in the process. Let's dig into this basic flow chart, and then we're going to get into some more details about some different things in the process. The first step is you stop making payments for more than 120 days, and you're behind. Now, the mortgage company is going to be emailing you, calling you, writing you letters. They have to send a specific letter, I believe it's called an Act 91 letter, after the 120 days and let you know you're going to the process. Now, if you don't basically rectify the situation, you're going to go to court. And in court, if you don't defend yourself, they're basically going to put your house into foreclosure. And you can defend yourself. There are things you can do. You can hire an attorney and say, hey, this is what happened. They actually really try in Pennsylvania to help you not foreclose if you can all help it. The other thing you can do is sell your house, and that is a much better option than going through this whole foreclosure process, because you're probably going to have some equity in the property because prices are up so much in Pennsylvania. So anyway, that's something to think about and consider. You're going to go to court. If the judge rules against you and says, yes, we're going to foreclosure, the first thing that's going to happen is a sheriff's sale. Now, at the sheriff's sale, people are going to be able to bid at the courthouse. Now, in Pennsylvania, I believe they've just pulled that process online, and we could take a look at that a little bit more later in the video. With the sheriff's sale, basically, people are going, it's like an auction. People have to bid, and it's a cash sale. A lot of times, sight unseen cash sale that they don't get to enter the property. Sometimes they do. Property might be occupied still at this point by the person getting foreclosed on. They basically have to bid more than the bank needs to clear all the debt, fees, and everything else. So there's going to be a reserve bid. You may not know that reserve bid, but if that reserve bid is exceeded, then the person buying at the sheriff's sale will get that house. They have to put 10% down at the time of the sheriff's sale. So it's a very cash intensive and very, I would say, risky way to buy a house, but some people do it and have had a lot of success with it. If the bank takes it back on sheriff's sale, they're basically granted the deed to the property, and then they're going to evict, and they're going to go to an REO sale, which stands for real estate owned sale, which is going to be on the market. You're going to see that on Zillow, Redfin, the MLS, all that stuff. It's going to be like a normal sale that the bank just owns that property and they're selling it. The bank may refuse to make repairs on the property, etc. That's the basic process of what happens in a foreclosure. Again, that's going to take over a year because courts are involved. There's tons of legal notices. They're going to do everything they can to try to keep that person in their house if they can help it. I hope that's helpful in understanding. Now, if you wanted to, again, avoid this process, you can just sell your house, and that's something I just help someone do. And maybe you might get an investor that may let you stay in your home. That pre-foreclosure process where you're getting notices and things like that, a lot of people might start contacting you, like investors and things like that, because they might see that your house is in pre-foreclosure and they're going to want to try to buy your house cash. I think one thing to note about foreclosures is the people that are in foreclosure tend to be distressed. Usually it's like a job loss, health issues, maybe very old age, whatever it is, and the houses are oftentimes not in great condition. To buy a foreclosure, you sometimes are going to need cash, but sometimes they're okay enough that they can go conventional loan. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the sheriff's sale. So you can see here I'm on the website for Chester County. they're using a thing called Bid for Assets, and sheriff sales are going to be held on the third Thursday of the month on a website again called Bid for Assets. So let's go check that website out. Preview stayed. So sometimes they may get stayed. I think that means that they don't go to sale, but you can see all the different houses going to sheriff sale. So let's take a look. There's a no reserve auction. Auction's going to happen on June 16th. So Bid for Assets is how you're going to do the sheriff sales. I don't believe they're doing them at the courthouse anymore. Buying this house, no real information on it. So, you know, it's kind of a crazy way to buy a house, but people do it, and that's basically the sheriff sale process. But now I'm going to show you a little bit on what happens when you see a foreclosure on the MLS. So let me just show you how I search for those. All right, so I'm just going to put in Chester County for right now, and then I'm going to go into, you can go into auction, in foreclosure, HUD owned, bankruptcy. Notice a default probate. Well, it's not probate, or short sale. So all in Chester County, we've got 3 properties that are matching this. Let's take a look at this one in Coatesville, for example. So you can see here it says they're in bankruptcy, and then here you can see this one is in auction, and this one is real estate owned. So this is an actual foreclosure. Been on the market for 61 days, and for whatever reason, no one is bidding on it. It's got 10 pictures, and you can see the condition is fair. But yeah, you can see here, for example, some mold or something here. These carpets, you know, this is kind of standard for what to expect in a foreclosure. You can see bathroom could use a tidying up here. For toilets busted, missing cabinet. So anyway, that's a foreclosure. But as you can see, there's one on the market in all of Chester County, which shows you that foreclosures right now are at an all-time low. There are ways you can get great deals in this market. We have a VIP buyer program that helps people do that. Well, anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you in understanding the foreclosures process in Pennsylvania, understanding what it looks like in the real world, what's going on. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. You know, whether it's you're looking to buy a foreclosure or you're going through foreclosure, I can really help you on either side of those processes. Again, I'm Rob Lawrence, based out of Westchester, PA. Run the Rob Lawrence team. Thank you so much.